What's up, fuckers?
What's up, kids? Get all filed in the chat. Welcome to episode 2 of the Millennials Are Mad, and this motherfucker is gonna be a doozy. How's your brain, homie?
I'm getting settled. I'm a little on edge, but it'll come out.
Fair enough.
We'll get it out.
All right. Well, I guess before we get to the nitty and or genocidal gritty, a couple housekeeping things real quick. Ham and I are pretty happy to announce here, hopefully by the beginning of next week, we will be launching a Patreon. And we're going to be having some extra stuff for people who are subscribers. So let me go over the perks for you real quick. Not only are we starting a Patreon, we are also starting a merch store, a show merch store. So we'll have some show merch. We'll actually have our individual merch as well. So if you like the Sexy Sinner shirt, if you like any of that stuff, you can go to mine. You like Ham's merch, he's already got a link on there as well. Essentially, if you are a supporter of the Patreon, the first tier is going to be you get the community access to the Patreon, and we also set up a Discord. That way you guys can, talk in the, or basically participate in the community and whatnot. And then you also get discount codes on the merch as well. We'll put those out as they come, basically. The second tier, which that's where the extra stuff is really going to come in. So once a week, Ham and I have decided that we're also going to do basically a extra stream during the week, where essentially we'll be, either doing Ask Me Anything, like AMAs, we'll be doing, or just hanging out, talking the shit, whatever. We're also going to be maybe doing reacting to some videos and whatnot. You guys get full access to that in the chat and all that good stuff. You can DM us, all that good shit. And then the third tier, you guys get video submissions at any of the React extra streams that we do for our Patreon subscribers, as well as you get to submit your idea for a topic that we discuss on this very fucking show. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to be able to, we're hopefully going to be able to roll that out early next week. And then we'll do a few videos on it as well, to let you know that it's up and running. We'll have it on our link trees and all that good shit. Okay, that out of the way. Let's go through some chats here real quick. Just everybody saying what's up.
Tylo, Tasha, Kyle, we got all the homies. Randy, hey Randy.
Yeah, Randy's here.
Diggity,
Zen, Kratos,
Jack. Dang, we got everybody in here.
Neil, Tasha.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. Well, welcome in, guys. If this is your second time, welcome back. If it's your first time, welcome to the fucking shit show. This one in particular is going to be probably pretty fucking rough. Ham and I, especially Ham, have been really doing deep dives on this particular subject, and it has basically melted our mental health for a little bit. So we're good and pissed off for this. So, but before we go any further, I just wanted to let you guys know up top, we don't claim to have a solution for peace in the Middle East. We don't have a fucking solution for it. We don't have a fucking solution for it. We don't claim that we have a solution for it. We just argue that there shouldn't be a final solution or a second final solution for it. That all being said, we just want any Zion, because that's another thing. I want Zionists in here. I want people to fucking push back, unless you're a goddamn troll. But essentially, we want the Zionists in here to be able to, hear the history and all this kind of shit, like what's really going on versus whatever propaganda you're being fucking spoon-fed by either Israel or our news media, as it fucking is. But we want you to know what's really going on, how we fucking got here. And if by the end of this, you're still a goddamn Zionist, at least you know why you're a fucking piece of shit. So there's that.
Pretty simple.
Honestly, without any further ado, I'm going to let Ham start things off, and we're just going to fucking get rolling.
Yeah. I figured it would be helpful. I want to share a couple of things. The first of them being, I personally want to dedicate this episode to our sisters Iman and Aboud, who are in Palestine. They join us regularly on the nighttime lives and TikTok. They are pillars of strength, and you will learn a bit more about the kind of bullshit that they have to live with and through over the course of the next little bit. So what I wanted to start with is basically the origins, right? Because Israel only existed, or came to existence, I should say, in 1948. It wasn't like, it's been there forever. It wasn't, it is a piece of land that is very heavily disputed, largely based on religious values. So, of course, as would be only appropriate, both the Jewish people and the Muslim Palestinians, as well as Christians, all have religious ties to that particular piece of land.
100%.
The problem is, I think, in how they frame it. And I think it's important to recognize that not only that Israel didn't exist before 1948, but that the father of modern Zionism was a man named Theodor Herzl. He promoted Jewish immigration to Palestine from what was then the Ottoman Empire. That's it goes back to World War I, basically. And there wasn't really a huge level of support for Zionism. Most Jews of the time favored assimilation. You know what I mean? Just like move there and if you want to, but just assimilate and move on with your life. And even the Palestinian Arabs of the time overwhelmingly opposed, as you might imagine, the idea that a group of people was going to immigrate to their land and then just kind of take it over. Because the key element of Zionism is not only the existence of the Jewish nation state, but also through military force. That's really the key element of Zionism.
It's their peace through strength, essentially. It's
exactly, yeah.
Right.
Like we can't talk about having peace until we can tell everyone to shut the fuck up if we want to.
Exactly.
Which is
right.
A hell of a just imagine going to someone's house, kicking the fucking door open and saying, "Make me leave. This is my house now."
That's essentially what it fucking is. I mean, that's why I never call it a fucking settlers movement. I call it a goddamn squatters movement. They essentially just encroached on this fucking land essentially they were just like, we're going to make these motherfuckers in the Middle East, all these Arab countries, recognize us as a fucking Jewish state. Like they don't even go so far as saying like Israeli state. It's like a straight up Jewish state.
Exactly.
And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to build an army so goddamn big that they have no choice but to accept that very fact, essentially.
And that's exactly how the whole thing started. Right. So the late 1800s, and then again in the early 1900s, at the end of World War I, there were huge waves of Jewish immigrants coming from what was then again the Ottoman Empire, but it was or the Russian Empire rather, but it was like Russia, Ukraine, Poland, and I think Belarus was the other country.
Right.
And the second wave, like I said, happening after the fall of the Ottoman Empire, after World War I. Don't mind your business. What's happening behind the hand?
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
And there were a lot more. That second wave was younger. They were more militant. They were a lot more committed to building that state, the Jewish state of Israel.
Right.
And like a lot of the history, a lot of the trouble that I was having is in reading through the history of this country, because again, I want to make that reference again. The equivalent of moving into or walking up to someone's house, kicking the fucking door open and saying, "This is my house now, make me leave." And then, "Oh, by the way, I killed your aunt."
Mm-hmm.
The idea that is acceptable is on its face fucking insane. And I grant you, this is 100 years ago, right? Context of the times being what it is, things were different back then. It doesn't make it any more acceptable, but that's how things happened.
Right.
The history of this country is no fucking walk in the park either.
No.
And so, a lot of the historical stuff is, well, the Jewish immigrants established farms and, collective farms and working organizations and Hebrew language schools and institutions. But the problem was that they also encouraged each other to only deal with other Jewish people and not deal with Muslims and establish that kind of network.
Right. And that's the thing. So also, I want to nip this fucker in the bud right now, because one thing that pisses me off about all of this, is the conflation between Zionism and Judaism. Okay. Yes. Motherfucker, if I'm against Zionists, that does not make me, nor does that make you, nor does that make anybody. If they're against this it's a goddamn political movement, which they still try to also apply to, like, say, Iran, which Iran can be kind of argued that way a little bit. But the conflation of Zionism with Judaism is what has them getting away with shit. Mm-hmm. Because based off the atrocities of World War II, based off of all that fucking shit, they conflate the two, so it makes it look like anybody against this goddamn genocide is anti-Semitic, or is a
Right.
fucking Nazi. And
Right.
honestly, this is fucking Nazi 2.0 for me. Period.
Yeah. And but this, by the way, like they're Zionists are not afraid of painting anybody as a Nazi,
Mm-hmm.
right?
100%.
Anybody, even their own, and we'll get to that in a bit. But
And they say
like,
we fucking throw that word around.
right, right. And you know, this whole thing started with just basically just huge waves of people moving to a new region of the world and deciding we live here now. This is our place now. There's nothing you can do about it. Um, and like you know, a lot of the historical stuff during the rule of the Ottoman Empire, that immigration happened lawfully, right?
Right.
It doesn't mean that it was morally justified or legally, you know, it was just it happened lawfully under the laws of the Ottoman Empire, which
Right.
I mean, who the fuck I'm not a legal scholar, nor am
Yeah.
I that level of I'm not any kind of historian, any level, but like the 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 whole thing, these giant waves of people start moving to a new country in the world, or a new area of the world, I should say, and the long-term political goal, right? Even if the early immigrant, the first wave was displacement and what have you, they moved there. The second wave was much more angled toward establishing the Jewish state, and the long-term political goal of Zionism was always to build an army that could not be refused.
Right.
Now, I mentioned you know the Israel didn't exist before 1948, and this isn't meant to say anything more than what I'm saying with the words that I'm using. In that, if had the Holocaust not happened,
Mm-hmm.
Israel may not exist, at
Right.
least not in its form, right?
100%. Yep.
Because the tensions there were already, of course, tensions. Obviously, there were. I mean, those two waves I think carried roughly 40,000 people each,
Yes.
and they were only separated by a couple decades, right? If that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So now, you know, in the span of 15, 20 years, you've got almost 100,000 new people in this area, which is not a small amount,
No.
that are starting to only commiserate with each other, only deal with each other, only work with each other and hire each other and all these different things. And then after World War II happens, well, I should say at that point, before World War II, in that period of time when that second wave happened, Britain basically said, we're dealing with all this now. We're going to rule this area of land.
Right.
And they said they issued what's called the Balfour Declaration, saying the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people. As in like that's what this is for. But also in that same declaration, they said that the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities shouldn't be prejudiced. And I want to highlight that because that's going to be a fucking recurring theme through this entire fucking thing. The language that is used about the Jewish people migrating to this piece of land is always like all the fucking military actions. Oh, it's always defense. The shield, the defense. It's always like, oh, we're just defending ourselves.
Right.
But historically, that is wholly not the fucking case.
Right. And how very fucking British, by the way.
Yeah, and it's always out of, you know, talking out of both sides of their mouth, basically, right? Like oh well, yeah, I'm like, even the times that BB's mentioned, I'm acknowledge I'd be okay with a Palestinian state existing under conditions. Meanwhile, he's expanding the fucking settlements and taking more people's land. So you know what I mean? Like it's all happy talk that doesn't have anything fucking behind it.
No, absolutely fucking not. And yeah, that's the thing is it was essentially when they all migrated over there, you established that, you know, state for the Jewish people. It's because for the longest time, especially like, say, you know, growing up, like you and I growing up in schools and whatnot, that was the one thing, is like the Jewish people were fucking absolutely oppressed and fucking tortured, murdered, and absolutely.
Yeah, no denying that.
But that doesn't necessarily mean, you know, you get to fucking do the same thing to people. But they're going to say that over and over and over again. They're going to say it over and over and over again. With like, oh, so you're just straight up fucking against the Jewish people in general. And you think that we're all these fucking whatever. Like, essentially, they do frame it, any pushback to it, as you straight up just being fucking borderline David Duke, for example. You know what I mean? Like, you were just a fucking straight up Nazi. You were a Nazi sympathizer, in some way, shape, or form. And they throw that around too, and I'm sure you'll get to it too when it came to Rabin after he signed the Oslo Accords, all
My
that
God.
kind of fucking shit.
Oh my
Um,
God.
but yeah, that's one thing that just drives me fucking nuts, especially with everything. Like, Threads is a fucking hotbed for Zionists, I've realized. And a lot of it is just like, oh man, I just really wish that so many Americans just weren't so damn anti-Semitic. Fuck you, dude.
It's such a crock of shit. Like it's so it would be funnier if it weren't so fucking annoying and
Right,
frustrating because it's not used as anything more than a way to avoid having a serious conversation.
right.
And the unfortunate part of especially this conversation is how little people, and truthfully on both sides, right?
Mhm.
How whether you're pro Pally or Zion or Zionist or whatever, both sides lack the context, and it is a fucking lot, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's outside of just the context between Palestinians and Israel is the context of the Middle East and the politics of the Middle East, which is a clusterfuck in and of itself.
And it's in a relatively short amount of time too. Like, I mean, 100 years is, I mean, in the grand scheme of shit, is not that fucking long ago.
No, man, that's your grandpa. That's fucking, you know what I mean? Like my grandparents aren't
Right,
allowed anymore, aren't around anymore.
right,
That's like, when they were kids, or it's two people ago.
right. Yeah,
At
that's
the most.
right.
At the most, it's two
Yeah.
people
It's 2 people
ago.
ago.
But yeah, so after World War II happens, right? Like all of this conflict is stirring, but now obviously hundreds of thousands of survivors are displaced because they're not getting their shit back. Many countries refused any significant Jewish influx of immigrants, including the U.S., by the way, who
Of
also
course.
refused refugees during the Holocaust.
Right.
And international support for a Jewish homeland and Zionism specifically got dramatically strengthened for obvious reasons, right? Like we human beings, if nothing else, fucking frighten easy, right?
Right.
So and we all like to think like, oh no, not me, not me, but like in the context of what was discovered, especially, right? Like it was hidden from much of the world in terms of what he was doing
Right.
in Germany, but
Oh, yeah. Even
once
even his
once
own
the
people
war was
didn't
over,
know. Even his own people
everybody
had
knew.
no idea. Yeah.
Yeah,
Even his own
you
people
know,
were, I mean, after, I mean, once the end of the war started, the war started coming to a close, people, yeah, obviously fucking started, picking up on it and whatnot. But like, even your normal everyday fucking Germans, like, that would basically put their blinders on out of fear of being fucking, nabbed and thrown in a camp or whatever the fuck. But they didn't really know, because for the longest time, up until Hitler started going hardcore in terms of taking all the fucking drugs, getting all kinds of paranoid after all the assassination attempts and all that kind of shit, all of
it
that
must have been
final
when he started
solution
doing
shit started ramping up, and people fucking, really knew about it. And then one thing too, that you were talking about, the US in terms of not taking in refugees. Basically, the entire goddamn war, as soon as we entered it, you had to fucking drag everyday Americans kicking and fucking screaming. We like to think that during that we were all rah rah America. We will fucking, we'll
no,
we'll ration our food, and we'll convert all of our fucking factories into the war effort, and we're gonna do this and that and other. No, motherfucker. Everybody bitched and complained about every single aspect of this.
and we
Straight
weren't
up.
going to do a motherfucking thing till Pearl Harbor.
Not until Pearl Harbor.
We weren't
Exactly.
going to do shit,
We were just going to
nothing.
sit back. We were like, well, World War One fucking sucked. So you know what? We're just going to take a step back. We're going to take a fucking, a degree of neutrality. And then, yeah, it wasn't until the Japanese decided one day that they were just going to fuck up one of our bases. And then, yeah, essentially that was one thing that I had learned, and it was a bummer like a motherfucker, because I remember, going through high school and whatnot, and always been being into history, especially World War II and shit like that, about how,
Same.
we fucking we came together as a country. We came together as a country to join the rest of the good guys of the world, and we did that shit. We fucking sacrificed so much. No,
Yeah.
you had to drag us fucking kicking and screaming.
Well, look at how we talk about 9/11.
Right.
We came together there was rampant Islamophobia, like
100%.
to the point of violence
Yeah.
after 9/11. We didn't
Right.
come together as a country. We fucking started pointing fingers and acting like fucking dickbags.
We started dehumanizing people. That's the
Of
thing.
course.
Like, dehumanization begets violence. Violence begets more fucking destruction and blood. And that's all it ever is. And the only way to get around this is be able to actually have people in place that aren't fucking just war hawks, straight up. But every single time, especially since 9/11, like pretty much every goddamn Republican and a few Democrats as well are just straight up goddamn war hawks.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean,
Oh
and
yeah.
that was the
Well,
thing. And
and there's no shortage of people on both sides that are willing to take the money from APAC.
no, absolutely
No
fucking not.
shortage.
Absolutely fucking not. And not, I mean, and that is why one of the, like, we have given Israel more goddamn money than any other country we've ever given any kind of
Ever.
aid to. Straight ever.
And
Ever.
they've only existed since 1948.
Yeah. And
That's
we're all in
fucking
fucking
crazy.
debt. We're all
Not
in
even
debt.
100 years.
It's fucking yeah. No.
So yeah, so back to the founding, you know, or the formation, I should say, of the nation state of Israel. You know, World War II happens. There's huge, hundreds of thousands of survivors displaced,
Right.
and in 1947, the UN decided, British rules. The Brits said, "We're done. We're not doing it anymore. We're not handling this. We can't rule this land all the way on the other side, whatever." And the UN said, "We'll take it over." And there's another point I want to highlight there, in that this piece of land, the Palestinian people have never been able to make their own decisions for who or what form of government or how or none of it. Not a goddamn thing, right?
Nope.
So in 1947, the UN takes over and says, we're going to propose dividing this into a Jewish state and an Arab state with an internationally administered Jerusalem. And the Jewish leaders, of course, were like, yes, because they didn't have a nation state of their own. So they were like, of course, we'll accept it. But the Palestinians were like, oh, hold on. You're taking an enormous fucking chunk of land, giving it to the Jewish people as a nation state, and then we get this piece. But there was a much, much heavier Arab population there even then.
I mean, that's kind of where the fucking civilization started anyway. I mean, Africa and Middle East, all that fucking area is basically where civilization fucking started. They have been there for fucking eons at this point.
Yeah. And to be fair, the Jewish religion, Jewish people that practice Judaism, have also had ties to that land.
Yeah.
Not the people that wound up there largely, because that was a whole bunch of European Jewish people that wound up there.
Right.
You know, among, you know, also, of course, the waves of immigrants that I mentioned. But like the people in Israel, that's not where they're from originally.
Right.
So the UN takes over. They propose this thing. The Jewish leaders say, hell yeah. The Palestinian leaders were like, you're just taking all of our land, even though we have a much bigger majority of people, and you're just giving it to them. And of course, a civil war breaks out. On May 14th of 1948, the state of Israel is officially established. And in that declaration, it said that the state of Israel, the nation of Israel, would gather Jewish immigrants from around the world, which I mean, you know, establish a democratic government, ensure equality regardless of religion, race, or sex. We know that's bullshit. Protect holy places. We know that's bullshit. And seek peace with neighboring states. We know that's bullshit.
All bullshit.
Within hours of this declaration, armies from Arab forces around them pushed into Israel, which survived. And by the 1949 armistice, Israel controlled more territory than they were allocated under the UN plan. And it starts. And it
fucking begins. Yeah.
Right. Jordan controlled the West Bank at the time and East Jerusalem, and Egypt controlled Gaza. For Palestinians, though, that's Israel's founding is inseparable. It is the same thing as what they call the Nakba, which translates to the catastrophe.
Yeah.
During the war, around 700,000 Palestinians became refugees, and hundreds of villages were either depopulated or destroyed entirely. That's why Israel wound up with that huge plot of land, because they fucking killed everybody and leveled everything that was in their way and said, this is ours now.
They landed, started expanding, and just fucking started deleting people, essentially. just so
That's
they
it.
can just take that, deleting homes, deleting people, deleting entire fucking villages and shit, and
Yep.
just fucking just kept expanding and expanding and expanding. And that's the thing. Like, that's the thing with the squatters movement and shit like that too, because essentially what they're trying to do is honestly kind of like how Russia has been doing with like Ukraine and shit, is basically just take over that area to the point where you can annex it, or you can kind of, you know, have some weird justification of annexing that area, because if there's nobody living there but you, then obviously let's fucking keep expanding, keep expanding, keep
Right.
expanding. Fuck these people. Oh, excuse me, sir. Oh, you know, pop, done. Fucking,
Yep.
hey, this is my fucking land now.
Right. And that's, I mean, keep in mind, we're talking at this point, we're talking 1920 or not,
Yeah,
just after 1948, right?
right.
Just after World War II. Israel just became a nation state, and already they've formed these kind of permanent fixtures of their nation building exercises by leveling villages,
Hmm.
killing protesters and people who just lived there, and anybody who said no to them, and then not allowing any refugees to return.
Right.
Those are fucking pillars of the founding of their country.
Yep.
And they knew by like there's no way they didn't know, right? They were wildly outnumbered. Zionist leaders absolutely knew, especially in that time, the demographic reality that
Hmm.
made a Jewish majority difficult, if not impossible.
Right.
So removing Palestinians became an acceptable objective, because the idea that Arabs would eventually have to leave was like it's the core of Zionist things. It's like eventually they have to go. They'll just
Hmm.
go.
Right. They'll just leave. They'll, yeah,
Yeah.
that, and it's been that way. Yeah, it's been that way since then. It's like, it's been what, 100 years. They keep saying shit. This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen, and it's all bullshit. Whether that is the Palestinians are just gonna go away, or Iran is this close to a fucking nuclear weapon. They've
Yeah.
tried this over and over and over again. They've been saying the same fucking bullshit, and it's worked, for that matter. And now that, you know, it's something we talked about last week, is now that we're so goddamn connected, we know too much for this shit. I don't think BB has been able to fucking like completely wiggle his way out of shit by using the same talking points since 1987, essentially,
Oh yeah.
or 1978. Sorry, and like, it's worked for him every fucking time. But now it's gotten to the point where everybody's fucking side eyeing it. At least anybody with a goddamn brain, essentially,
Exactly.
and a pair of
Exactly.
eyes.
And so I mean, even and just the last thing on the occupation of
Hmm.
you know, and or the settlements, right?
Hmm.
The Zionist leaders actually had something they called Plan D,
Okay,
which
this is
the
new for me.
provisions of that basically allowed commanders in their armed forces, or whatever, you know, whatever it was at the time, whether it was army or what have you, allowed commanders to occupy villages, expel the inhabitants of the villages if they resisted by
Right.
whatever means necessary,
Hmm.
and then destroy the villages once they were done with them. So effectively, they were like, yeah, just take over a town or a village, kick everybody out. If they fight you, kill them. And then you just use their town as a military base. And then when you're done with it, just level it.
Hmm.
And then that way we're not going to let them back anyway. So that'll just be our land now.
Well, now it's like, not only that, we can now start building resorts and hotels and fucking all that kind of shit.
Right. Right.
Who was a financial planner that was part of his financial plan? Fucking
Weird.
ass piece of shit.
Um, yeah. And you know, I just like, if that's how you began as a nation less than 100 years ago, I don't think it's necessarily decided or set in stone that like you can just do that. You can
Right.
just like there is very clearly a humanitarian crisis. There is very clearly a genocide happening, and everyone's just like, well, you know, Israel's got a right to exist. Okay, cool. Why are they fucking killing everybody then?
Yeah, they do exist. Why are they trying to
Right?
make it bigger?
They're existing just fine.
Right. You're there. We know you're there. We've
Right.
recognized that you are there. We've kind of fucking, I mean, granted, the Brits and the UN and all that shit, we put you there. We
Right.
understand that you're fucking there. But what
Right.
you're doing right now is fucking not what we fucking wanted. Straight up. But I
It's
mean,
insane.
but through all that propaganda and shit, like, it's just, there's so many goddamn parallels right now between that and some of the other atrocities that have fucking happened throughout history, and particularly the goddamn Nazis. Like, it's just, I there was never a question that people fucking believe that Israel had the right to exist. But we, like I said in the beginning up top, is I would just argue that you don't turn into the very fucking people who eradicated 6 million of you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you were doing the exact same fucking shit. And granted, they've been kind of doing it. I mean, I don't fucking
Well, and
know.
I mean, I mean, if you look at even recent information and all that, like they learned it from us.
Yeah,
They learned it from how we dealt with the Native Americans and the
right.
slaves, and like that they learned it from us. And the ties go both ways, my friend, because the story of Bibi Netanyahu bears some striking similarities to a certain orange fucking potato that
Yep.
sits in the Oval Office and shits his pants currently.
Yep. And you would fucking argue that yeah. I mean, and that was the one thing too, because how many times did he go to Mar-a-Lago before Trump got elected the second time?
Oh, so many times.
Like 3 to
The
5
connections
times?
between Bibi and Trump are not few or small.
Right, exactly. And I guarantee you that that's essentially, I mean, it's because what was it? Because essentially BB had worked his way into the US and had always said, I mean, he went to fucking high school here in Philadelphia for a minute. Like I think it was in the 70s. And essentially he would always say that he can push America to do whatever the fuck he wants. And the main thing with that is yes, he's been able to do that. And Biden, I think, is the biggest supporter on the Democratic side, but the majority of the support that we have given them with fucking no question, just an infinite fucking enthusiasm has always come from Republican presidents.
Oh yeah.
Period.
Oh yeah.
Since he came
Oh yeah.
in there, I mean, yeah, he's been in their ears for the longest fucking time. And Lindsey Graham also, has a huge part to play in what's going on right now too.
Oh,
Thank God.
rest in pieces.
Rest in piss. You fucking. Oh.
Fuck that dude.
Oh,
Ladybug.
dude.
But yeah, the Republican presidents are the only ones that have gone to war for him.
Yep.
And then the Democrats have to come in and clean it up.
Yep.
And
but still dropping fucking all kinds of weapons and munitions and all that kind of fucking shit. Like, hey, no, it's all good, man. Because a lot of it, I mean, I know that was the same, particularly with Biden. Because one thing I have noticed with a lot of people that are, pro-Zionist and whatnot, comes from the fucking Catholics. Go fucking figure there. And Biden, ardent fucking Catholic. And they look at that as, I mean, of course, they look at where Jordan is, all that kind of shit, like is the Holy Land. And that's where you take your pilgrimage. You fucking go to the Wailing Wall. You do all that kind of fucking shit. And they base the lives of human beings on ideology. And there is no fucking other like concept that just gets under my skin more than that shit. It's this whole fucking self-righteous justification of the eradications of entire fucking civilizations in the name of a fucking wizard that lives in the sky.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the thing that I think that pisses me off the most about this shit is that, like, a lot of people, and especially Zionists and even pro-Pally people, I mean, people that are on the opposite side of the world, on our side of the world, a lot of people get caught up in talking about the numbers, right? Of well, this happened and Hamas did this and then Israel retaliated, but you're forgetting again, the aggressor here is not anyone in Palestine.
Right.
Nobody in Palestine 100%. Is the aggressor here when they are literally just trying to defend their right to exist and their homes, which have been fucking leveled, by the way.
Right. And the majority of Palestinians,
like you said, we're talking about human beings.
Yeah.
Human fucking, they're just people. And if there's anything that I've learned in any amount of traveling that I've been able to do, it's everywhere that I've been in the world, and up to and including India. And India was probably the most eye-opening experience of my life. Man, it's just, I mean, there's a fuckload of people in India, but it's just people trying to survive, trying to get through life the same fucking way that we all are, trying to figure it out and get through as happy and healthy as they can. And the idea that someone's religious belief, someone's sky daddy is more important than someone else's, to the point that we're going to move in here and wipe you the fuck out and then just take your shit, is insane to me.
Yep.
that
We're
we lose that element of humanity.
right. I mean, well, that's the thing, though, and that's the way you can compartmentalize that shit is the people that you are displacing or just straight up blowing the fuck up. You dehumanize them, and then
Yeah.
and that's the best way that anybody who tries to justify this bullshit can say that with a straight face and be okay with it because you're able to
Mhm.
dehumanize. These people aren't human. These people aren't this. And that's like a one thing too is one of the big propaganda touch points with that is they're just like the fucking Palestinian people voted in Hamas to run their fucking government, like members of Hamas to run their government. So obviously these people want these fucking terrorists in here to do things like October 7th and shit like
Right.
that. But the problem with that is the last election held in Palestine was 2006. 2006, and they haven't had an election since then. A lot of the Palestinian people believe that they can't openly speak out against their fucking government right now because Hamas, don't get me fucking wrong, dude, Hamas is a fucking terrorist organization. Hamas
Well, yeah.
is full of fucking horrid human beings that have taken countless lives, kidnapped a bunch of hostages, tortured the fuck out of them, they're horrible fucking human beings. But you cannot sit there just like the same ways, you can't necessarily conflate Zionism with Judaism. You cannot conflate Hamas with a Palestinian, with an everyday fucking Palestinian. Okay, just because the worst of your region is the loudest does not mean that they speak for your entire fucking region. And the
Right.
population of Palestine is, I mean, I don't know how many times we've said it since anybody's been covering this shit. More than 50% of the Palestinian people are kids. They weren't even alive when the last election took place. So you can't sit there and fucking tell me that all the Palestinian people voted in Hamas to run their goddamn country because most of them weren't even fucking born yet.
Right. Right.
So,
And even then, even if we go back to 2006 and talk about that election, there's a whole host of, I just read through some of the founding information of where and how Israel began as a nation.
right.
And that stops in fucking what, just after World War II?
Yeah.
Right. So there's 100 additional years of context, 60 years of additional context and fighting and civil war and all that shit before you even get to that election. Expanding settlements.
Right.
Like all of that shit's happening over the course of this entire time. And yeah, people are going to be fucking frustrated and fed up and looking for an answer. And sometimes violence looks a whole lot like the answer. Sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, every fucking time. Yeah. I mean, because if there's a situation, I mean, granted, everybody knows this, but if there's a situation where violence is, an option, I mean, you're going to have, especially people that are like scared or people that are like in the heat of the moment or in the heat of whatever's going on right there, they will pick violence every time because it's one of those things where it's just like, it's covering your own ass. He's like, why should I be scared? Like, I don't have to be scared if these fuckers don't even exist. If they're not there, like you can't be scared of the monster that's not there anymore. You know what I mean?
Well, talking about Bibi and all that stuff, like Bibi's father was a hardcore, not just a Zionist, but a revisionist
Zionist. Yep.
And that shit is wild. Basically, like he was brought up to believe that just regular Zionists weren't hardcore enough.
Right.
Right. Like they weren't about it. They were too cautious, too willing to compromise. And that like the revisionist Zionism also believes that the Jewish people should have land on both sides of the Jordan River.
Yep.
So like they were like, we want all of it, period.
Right. We don't want him in there at all. And that's the thing too, revisionist Zionism. I'm sorry, if you name your fucking like ideology that, if I see revisionists, I'm like, okay, I'm looking at that, kind of side-eyed. I'm like, revisionist, that holds no credibility in my head, at least.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And you mentioned it a moment ago, even all the way back in 1978, right? This is 30 years after Israel began.
Right.
30 years later,
30 years,
who, by the way, in case some folks down there don't know, went to school in the U.S. I think he went to MIT. He studied here. Bibi was on a Boston area television show, and he was asked, is the issue of self-determination the core of the conflict in the Middle East? And he said, no, I don't believe it is. The real core of the conflict is the unfortunate Arab refusal to accept the state of Israel.
Mm-hmm. And that was right after his brother got killed.
Which is such a fucking wild way to reframe. They're really mad that we kicked their fucking door in and we killed their people and we're taking all their shit.
Right.
And they won't accept us. Yeah, and shit.
Yeah, there's no peace because they're bitching about us, shitting in their cornflakes. Like,
yeah.
I don't fucking, and yeah, that was right after his brother had died, saving like hundreds of Israelis from a hijacking, plane hijacking.
Yeah.
And I guess at that point, it's one of those things where, I mean, I get it. I mean, but you can have that anger because, I mean, I know damn well if I had a family member or somebody very fucking close to me die at the hands of a terrorist group or whatever the fuck, like, yeah, I'm going to be pissed off, but I'm not going to sit there and paint an entire civilization as the fucking perpetrators of it. I mean, it makes no fucking sense to me to do that. I mean, even family members of hostages and shit had been, talking about, hey, dude, like the only way that this is going to fucking be resolved is through peaceful fucking resolution. We need to talk. We can't just sit there and bomb each other over and over and over again.
Yep.
Because it's just going to be the same cycle. The definition of insanity over and over and over again.
Absolutely right. That's been the biggest critique of Bibi's premierships, right? From his first term in office, his first government, his second government when it collapsed, and even now in his third term. The biggest critique of him is that he doesn't ever seek to resolve conflict. He wants to manage it. And I emphasize he wants to manage it. Yeah. Because Bibi's primary concern is remaining in power, right? Which is why, and I think I saw it in the chat a moment ago. It's been found that he was maybe not is or maybe still is, but he was allowing funding to pass to Hamas.
Yes, he was. He was letting.
The more the fighting happened, the more the more he could be like, "I'll save you."
Right, because that has been, bar none, every single fucking campaign he's ever run is, I'm the only one who can keep you safe. I am the only one who can stop these terrorists from coming in and killing, everybody. Even though I'm fucking doing this over here. But, not to mention though, I mean, a lot of it too is he did allow that money to go to Hamas, but that's because he thought he could control Hamas.
Right.
He thought that they were a more, again, manageable entity as opposed to the the Fatah.
Yeah.
Because at the time, I mean, going back to that 2006 election, is the Fatah essentially was getting completely fucking just roasted for being incompetent and being corrupt as fuck. And that and the Hamas, and Hamas tried to frame themselves as more moderate, not extremists, not anything like that. They tried to frame themselves as more, nah, man, we're more in the middle here. We're not that, radical group that you think that we are when we formed back in 1987 or 1987. And they barely won by a slim fucking margin, dude. It wasn't a landslide. That was it. It was just like a plurality of votes, I believe is what they call it.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge margin at all.
No, not by any fucking stretch. But again, Palestinian people voted in Hamas, so they're all fucking terrorists now.
Yep.
Because that's more easy to digest when you're fucking murdering thousands upon thousands of fucking children.
Well, and that's how he's been continuously able to frame it as like, oh, we need to defend our right to exist because they keep attacking us. But you're sending armed forces out to take their homes, kill their families, and then resettle the land and rebuild. I mean, like we were, I think it was, you probably saw the same thing. The framing of this, and we'll get to that this particular thing in a bit, because we're going a bit chronologically here, but like here, even recently, Israeli leadership, it openly jokes about like, oh, we need to get in on this real estate deal and figure out how we're going to divvy up the profits and shit. Like it's like they're talking about fucking genocide. Like it's nothing. Like it's a Tuesday.
They called it. What did they call it? Like I believe it was fucking Scrotrich, who, in my opinion, is the goddamn Stephen Miller of the fucking Knesset, essentially. Yeah, it's one of those things where he wasn't talking about it like as genocide or flattening an area. He called it the demolition phase for a real estate fucking, boom.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
demolition phase. We're already getting that done. So
Right.
that's going to be great. And once we kind of get that all cleared out, we're going to start, just blasting real estate deals through the fucking roof. That's why fucking good old ghoul-in-law fucking Kushner is in there. There was a report
Yep.
recently during the peace talks, not too long. I think the last round of peace talks, where him and Witkoff were getting completely fucking roasted by insiders in the peace talks, saying that these motherfuckers are only here asking about how can we make more money, how can we fucking seize this land, how can we
Yeah.
build a bunch of fucking real estate on top of it.
Yep. That's all they're concerned with. That's
Right.
all they're concerned with.
It's all money.
And that's been BB's whole story, right? I'm the only one that can save you. I mean, even going all the way back to the Oslo Accords.
Right.
He made his name on, no, we don't want that. We don't want peace, right? No. You mentioned Rabin earlier, right? Like he signed the Oslo Accords on Israel's behalf.
Right.
Bibi campaigns furiously against him.
Yep.
So much so that he spoke at a rally where pictures of Rabin were shown in a fucking Nazi uniform. There's the
throwing the Nazi out there again. Yep.
Right. Pictures of Rabin in a Nazi uniform were burned at this rally that he was speaking at. He did absolutely fuck all nothing about it.
Right.
And then he led a march that was also a mock funeral procession, with a coffin labeled Rabin kills Zionism.
Yep.
And then Rabin was assassinated.
Like a month later.
Wild. Weird how that works out.
Right. And even so, like there was like a little spot there where they actually have Ben Gvir with the fucking Cadillac emblem of Rabin's car in his hand saying,
oh yeah,
well, the reason why we did this is so, I mean, I can pull off the hood ornament on his car. We can get to him and he needs to know that. And like, fuck off, dude.
It's fucking crazy. And of course, like, not just the people, like many people on both sides, Israeli and Palestinian, but also Rabin's own wife blamed Bibi for his killing specifically. Like put the blame squarely on him that he stoked this violence. Sound familiar?
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh, did he say something about like fight like hell? Anything like that? I don't know.
Probably.
Motherfuckers. God damn.
It's crazy.
But I mean, yeah, and since Trump's demented ass is in office, doesn't know his fucking ass from his elbow anymore. Granted, that's a weight issue too. But like he's playing fucking Trump like a goddamn puppet, and it's very, very obvious to fucking see. It's very obvious, I guess, to everybody but Trump, essentially.
Oh, I think if I was a betting man, and I don't do it often, but I will right now, I would say that Trump is very well aware of Bibi being able to dog walk him because he knows what Bibi has on him. Because Bibi and Trump share a connection named Jeffrey.
Yep. Again, speaking of financial plans and flattening the Middle East for real estate.
Yeah.
Good old pederass general himself.
It's like I said, the connections, the comparisons, the similarities are they are not few and they are not small.
Which pisses me off even more is like, how do you fucking people not see this? Like the people that are ardently fucking defending this shit, how do you not see that? Like it's right there in front of your fucking face. I don't know if you're completely devoid of fucking pattern recognition or just devoid of a conscience or you're just dead inside anyway. Like, it's Jesus fuck, dude. Oh, it looks like my live on Instagram. I'm going to go ahead and assume that Meta doesn't like what we're saying about fucking.
It's entirely possible.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gone. All right. Well, I guess we'll let that one go. We'll see if I got a ding for that when I check my account later. I've never been dinged on Instagram ever, and I've said some fucking horrid shit. But
I've had some comments removed.
I think I've had one or two.
told somebody to suck start a Freedom Seed dispenser once,
Yeah,
and
buddy.
that got removed.
And that's so funny because I've told somebody to go to 12 gauge and that never got removed.
Damn. Oh, I think it's because I said Mossberg. I called out a specific brand.
Of course.
So yeah, so moving up to a little bit more present day, we have the first Intifada, right?
Mhm.
That happens in it happens in 1987, but the catalyst for it is an Israeli truck colliding with 2 Palestinian vehicles, killing 4 Palestinian laborers from a refugee camp and injuring several others.
Okay.
In the months prior to that, a Palestinian teenager had been shot and killed by an Israeli settler. Go figure. There were armed clashes between the Israeli forces and Palestinians. Palestinians had carried out some retaliation against those folks. There were, of course, military operations from Israel, arrests, curfews, and confrontations of all different kinds. And then 2 days before that accident on December 8th, an Israeli businessman is killed in Gaza. And there's a large amount of speculation as to whether or not the truck accident was on purpose that killed the 4 Palestinian people.
Mm-hmm.
Is there, though?
Really, motherfucker?
Is there speculation? Really, and so, Israel at this point had occupied the West Bank since 1967. The continuous expansion of their settlements, and I fucking hate using that goddamn word, but the continuous expansion of their occupation, the military administration and restrictions on damn near every aspect of daily life, seizure of Palestinian land, economic crippling, and absolutely no path forward to self-determination for Palestine at all. Enter Bibi Netanyahu as prime minister. He becomes the Likud party, which is the far right.
That's the far right
of Israeli government. He becomes the Likud party's leader in 1993, winning his first election in 96 as the youngest prime minister in Israeli history after the assassination of Rabin.
Right. He was also at the time he was the ambassador to the UN, was he not, for Israel?
Yes,
I believe so. Yeah. So he'd been in politics for a minute.
To the UN, he served in a couple different government positions.
Right. Yeah.
The interviews of people during Bibi's campaign. Did you see the guy in the car? He says,
"Oh yeah,
the prime minister that's going to stand up to the world who's not a sucker, someone who knows how to lie too."
Right.
He needs to be. We need a prime minister who's an asshole son of a bitch.
Asshole son of a bitch. Yeah.
Sound familiar?
What was it? I didn't vote for him to be nice. I voted for him to get shit done. How many fucking times have you people seen that fucking meme?
Fucking mind-numbing.
Oh god.
And his of course, and doing the same thing right now. I'm gonna make another tie to Trump here. His first government slowed the implementation of the Oslo Accords. Right. So there was a thing that was signed that he didn't like, and so he was like, "I'm not going to do that."
Immediately. Yep.
Eroding
Iran nuclear deal.
Right. We could sit here and cough all night.
Yeah, man. I got a fucking tickle in my throat right now, motherfuckers.
So yeah, he slows the implementation of the Oslo Accords. Of course, then eroding any trust that anybody has in this peace process because it's not working because he's fucking making it not work.
Right.
Which has been his MO the entire fucking time he's been any kind of governmental. I mean, even like I said, all the way back in that 1978 interview, he's talking about, it's just that they won't accept us.
Right. Yeah. They're the problem, not us.
Yeah. And all this continued expansion happens, but he loses office in 99 because the public thought he had failed to deliver in either peace or security, which even all the way back then were the things that he was campaigning on. Peace and security. And I'm the only one. So they have a parliamentary style government. So that means that you have to build coalitions with other parties, right? They have several different parties. You have to build coalitions and gain the support of these other parties to become a prime minister.
Right.
He alienated his political allies. The coalitions that he built with the religious folks, the Orthodox, the hyper-nationalists, and even the smaller factions in their government all fell apart because his politics are, by their very nature, divisive.
Well, not to mention, he's also, a lot of it was same thing with the Fatah when in the 2006 election in Palestine, is its incompetence and corruption. Those were the big things, because it got to a point where no other political faction in the Knesset would touch him except the furthest to the fucking right. And who else does that sound fucking like?
Not few and not small.
No. That's a small fucking world, isn't it?
It's crazy.
God damn.
And there's a decade in between, right? Where Bibi losing in 99, a lot of people, even at that point, still believed that a negotiated peace was possible. Even Israelis, right? Like there was a lot of Israeli support, like we can still find a negotiated peace here. And Ehud Barak, who came into office after him, had actually campaigned on reaching a final peace agreement, ended Israel's occupation of southern Lebanon, and completing what Oslo had begun. In 2000, famously, there are pictures all over the internet, Bill Clinton hosted negotiations between Ehud Barak and Yasser Arafat.
I remember this. Yep.
Those, of course, collapsed.
Yep.
It's really funny. Like I did a lot of looking into those peace talks specifically, and this is the thing that I find as a common theme, right? Like I talked about how it's always in the labeling of these things as, oh, it's defensive and we just have a right to exist and blah blah blah. Every time there is any question of something that fell apart or didn't work, or a peace plan or a ceasefire that they break or ignore entirely, or whatever the fuck it is, it's always, well, we made unbelievable concessions here, right? The argument against Barak at that point was that he had made unprecedented concessions to Arafat.
Mm-hmm.
Arafat rejects the deal, and of course, because obviously,
yeah.
And the Palestinian side of that argument is again that the agreement would have left Palestine fractured, right? Disconnected territories that weren't touching each other,
right?
And also it preserved the Israeli occupied areas. So it said, like, whatever land is currently under Israeli control, we're just going to give it to them. Right. So every single fucking peace agreement, every time someone has a conversation about peace, it's always, well, just let them have what they've taken already, and then you just live here. Except now they're living in a pile of fucking rubble, bones, and blood.
You got to learn to share. Fuck off. Like,
it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Yeah, it's always no, they just, we give them this, we give them that, and they just either refuse it or they just don't, they look at us as these monsters that don't have the right to exist. Get off the fucking cross. We need the wood.
Yep. And the Israeli response, I'm damn sure not going to call it retaliation, because fuck that. Mm-hmm. But the Israeli response to whatever the Palestinians have ever done to try to save themselves and safeguard their homes and themselves from literally just being fucking indiscriminately slaughtered,
right,
has always been a fucking way an overcalculation and overmeasure, right? On purpose, obviously.
Oh, cool. Yeah, absolutely.
The second Intifada, 1,000 Israeli people were killed. Over 4,000 Palestinians were killed.
Yep.
And we haven't even fucking touched on October 7th yet, and the disproportionate fuck ass bullshit that's happened since then.
Oh yeah,
right.
You haven't even, we haven't even gotten fucking there yet.
Right.
Haven't even gotten there yet.
And this, by the way, the second Intifada is only 2000 to 2005. I mean, this is still 20 fucking years ago. This is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Giant fucking enormous overreactions. Over that time, several military actions that were all, the pillar of defense and Operation Shield Our People, or whatever the shield are, whatever the fuck it's called. It's always some fuck ass bullshit
made by some fucking half-ass little shit. Yeah.
In that 2004-2005 timeframe, Ariel Sharon announced a unilateral withdrawal from Gaza. Right? He was the PM at that point in Israel. Announces a unilateral withdrawal, removing 8,000 Israeli occupiers, dismantling their settlements in Gaza, and withdrawing permanent Israeli military forces from inside the Strip.
Mm-hmm.
That's 20 years ago. Bibi, again, who's not in office currently, goes on a fucking campaign tirade. Bibi at the time was serving as his fucking finance minister, as Sharon's finance minister.
That's right. That's fucking right.
Right?
So he was still in there. He's
and
still
he's
in there.
Out in the open, railing against his prime minister, saying that Hamas is going to portray this as a victory, and the terrorism is going to be rewarded, and Gaza is going to become a base for attacks. And he resigned from Sharon's cabinet because of his disengagement. He was like, "That's it. I don't want anything to do with this." Yet again, showing he never had any fucking interest in peace ever.
Nothing gets people behind you like a goddamn temper tantrum.
And Sharon at the time, this is the crazy thing. Sharon was the leader of the Likud party.
Right.
When Bibi stepped down, like Bibi stepped aside for a while. He lost that first term, and he was like, "All right, I'm going to step aside."
Right.
Likud, as the right-wing party, takes Sharon as its leader. After this disengagement, Sharon says, "No, fuck all that. I'm going to leave the Likud party," and forms his own centrist party.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Kadima party,
right?
So, yeah. More centrist, probably not much more.
A little more moderate,
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what the metric we're using is for centrist, but more so than fucking Bibi. So there's that. Probably the difference between Trump and like John McCain.
Right. I mean, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, if you look at, say, like MAGA versus like the Republicans that were
like a conventional Republican.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Still a fucking asshole, but a little easier to tolerate.
Right.
So in 2006, after all of this, as you mentioned, Hamas wins the election.
Right.
Now the people of Israel, by I'm sure no small stretch of coincidence, are believing that like, oh shit, we pulled out of Gaza. Sharon pulled us out of all these places, and now they elected Hamas. And this is what goes to show you that like, even though we removed all of these people, even though we were so generous as to leave their fucking land, they elected people who don't like us.
They're just a bunch of ungrateful fucking people. They're just so ungrateful. So ungrateful.
I mean, we were so nice as to leave your house and then you lock the door? Like what? What do you mean? It's like the level of shit. Listen, y'all. I have like fucking 7 pages of notes on all. This is all accumulated over the last week. I've been yanking my hair out in chunks. It's all on the backside. That's why you can't see it. There is no shortage of absolute horrific shit, and this is all just history, right? Like this is just we're talking about these things as if they're like, these are the events that happened, and they are, but it's so much more than that. And it's really important to me that y'all understand, like this, again, these are fucking human beings that we're talking about.
Yep.
They're people, and they're just trying to live. And the conditions that they're being forced to live in are fucking inexcusable. They're inexcusable. And this is, again, now we're at less than 20 years ago.
Yep.
2008, 2009, Israel launches Operation Cast Lead, which is the one operation that I found that didn't sound like we're just trying to exist, man. Operation Cast Lead in 2008 and 9 causes extensive destruction in Gaza, significant casualties, to the point that international investigations and human rights organizations were alleging violation of international humanitarian law, right? This is, again, now we're at 15 years ago.
Yep.
A little more than 15 years ago. Jesus. People have been crying out about this shit, and it's still fucking happening.
Right. And it's either being ignored or completely twisted or whatever. Like they try to find some kind of way to demonize or dehumanize these fucking people to just be little more than a nuisance. But see, this is the thing though, too. To justify the fucking atrocities they commit, these people are fucking demons. These people are fucking just terrorists. They're a bunch of fucking just genocidal fucking maniacs and all that kind of shit. But then to also justify after they had done it, it's fine. Like they're just a fucking nuisance. Like they didn't need to live there. These people don't need to fucking live. Like this is, I gotta, set up my family over here in this fucking person's house right now. And if not, I'll just burn the fucking house down and build a new one. Like either way, because that was another thing. I think one of the legislations that they passed, and correct me if I'm fucking wrong here, was essentially like if they take over that fucking land, while it is, illegal to take, say, that land. But once they do that, I think not too long ago, they did one where if you take over that land, guess what? It is now legal for you retroactively to own that fucking land.
Yeah.
To hell with whoever had the deed to that fucking land who was Palestinian. Go fuck yourself.
Well, and a lot of these farmers, right? Like a lot of the farms and all of the all the land that they're taking, a lot of this stuff is because there were effectively rich ass people who lived far enough away that there were tenant farmers, people who lived and tended the land that didn't have any legal claim to it except for the fact that they lived there and tended the land. And that was their, like, it doesn't matter. Bang, gone, bye.
Yep, done. And it's completely fine. It's absolutely fine.
Just nothing you can do about it.
Just to see the fucking, like, especially with the squatters, because I mean, you were mentioning earlier that they would bring armed forces in there to start getting these people out, killing whatnot. No, now they got everyday fucking Israelis that just have no goddamn degree of conscience. Like, I just see just the dead look in their fucking eyes and the very matter of fact, like, way that they explain it, as in, we're just getting rid of a fucking vermin. We're just getting rid of vermin, and we're setting up for our people, because our people, we're civilized people. No, you're fucking not. Not when you're beating the shit out of just innocent fucking people, burning their house down, and then taking their fucking, taking it as yours. That's not fucking civilization. That is fucking straight up goddamn
colonialism.
Yeah, it's straight up colonialism. Yeah, it's straight up. It's the same thing.
Destiny. They learned it from us.
What was it that John Oliver said on one of that on that special was, it's like calling the Trail of Tears like rapid transit, like mass rapid transit. Yeah. Like, that's not at all what it fucking is. Period. Right.
It's fucking nuts. And I mean, so after all of this, Bibi returns to office in 2009.
Right.
Beginning the longest uninterrupted premiership in Israeli history.
Well, it's not a very long history, but fair enough.
Not a very long history, right? Exactly. I mean, who are we talking about? There was 500 people aside from him,
right?
But again, even in that campaign or in that election, again portraying himself as like, I'm the guy, I'm the only one that can protect Israel. This is also in 2009. The point at which, actually, I'm sorry, this is going all the way back to 96, but it's worth mentioning that again in 2009, he is emphasizing very strongly that Iran is weeks away, days even.
This fucking close.
Right. My butthole's puckering as we speak.
Right.
It's that close.
It's been the same speech for 30 goddamn years.
30 fucking years, man. Same fucking bullshit. Same bullshit. To the point that even Donald Trump's Iran's military capability has been decimated, but then he's like, we got to stop Iran because
they can't have a nuclear weapon, even though I got rid of the deal, but I didn't come up with a replacement because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. It just had a goddamn black man's name on it, and my racist ass can't fucking handle that. It's not good.
Yep. And again, he argues, like I said, he's the guy who can do it. Iran's a problem. He talks about how the peace efforts had failed because he failed them.
I was going to say, because of whom?
And yet again, in 2009, his coalition building is with ultra-Orthodox, nationalist, and religious Zionist parties and factions within the government. So every single time, up to and including right fucking now, his coalition is the Proud Boys, effectively, and the fucking, like, the Patriot Front and all these fucking Yahoo chuckle fucks that are over here talking this bullshit. Like, even you were talking about, it's like, it's normal Israeli people that do it. Look at ICE. That's all the same shit. The similarities are they are not few and they are not small. Like, it's fucking ridiculous.
And that's why I went back to fucking, Bibi visiting Mar-a-Lago in between Trump's terms. It's like they straight up just fucking just came up with a plan.
Yep.
Like, Bibi's like, well, this is what I did, and it's working really fucking well. So I think you should do the exact same goddamn thing with some of the vermin in your country, because I
Oh yeah.
guarantee you, anything that you've done in the past, anything that we can find on you or whatever the fuck, or that we have on you, won't come to light as long as you fucking,
As long as you play ball.
you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, homie. You send me the weapons. I won't tell them about your little indiscretions with little kids.
Yeah, no, as long as you play ball, it's fine. I won't say anything as long as you do every fucking thing I tell you to do.
And here's my however many point plan on how to do this, essentially.
Right, exactly.
Like,
It's fucking nuts. And so he comes back into government, and his speech, he gives a speech where he, for the first time as a PM, says that he could accept a demilitarized Palestine with significant restrictions, right? Like with conditions, rather, not restrictions.
Right.
Well, same thing.
Right.
Meanwhile, and again, going back to the whole talking out of both sides of your mouth shit, right? He's, I could accept a demilitarized Palestine with some exceptions, or restrictions, conditions, whatever you want to call them. Meanwhile, the construction, the settlement, construction of settlements, occupations in the West Bank continued to expand and continued to be built, and Palestinian people were still being killed indiscriminately.
Yeah, for no fucking reason at all.
Like, yeah, I could accept a Palestine. So it's always the facade of, hey, I'm the good guy here. I'm trying to find peace. I'm just trying to protect my people.
Yeah.
That's the one fucking consistent theme that I found through all of this shit. And it was my name was almost Kyle. I almost put a hole in my drywall. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was fucking, the level of rage coursing through my veins.
I almost drove to New York to get a fucking monster logo tattooed on me, for Christ's sake.
I was fucking angry, dude. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy.
Put your head through the goddamn drywall. That's how fucking angering this shit is.
Yeah, it's so, and the thing of it is, like, looking through the historical documents and like and doing the research on all this shit, like I've been digging in pretty hard on this literally since the last episode. And I don't understand how anybody can look at this and objectively say, well, yeah, no, it's just two sides that just can't come to an agreement. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's one side that's being a fucking a dick. One side's being a dick. The other side is just like, hey, man, we lived here already.
We've been here, motherfucker.
That's it. That's the fucking
like, I guess you can come right back to us too, because the fucking Native Americans are like, motherfucker, we lived here first, and then you decided to murder a dick ton of us, and then throw us in some of the most barren ass, like, non-tillable land possible.
Yep.
Immediately, like, as soon as it was like the whole expansion of the West and all that kind of shit. I mean, yeah, we essentially did the same fucking thing, man. It's
nonstop. Did. And it's always the defensive shit. Like, even, okay, so in this, I found one of them in 2012, right? 3 years later, after this speech where he says, like, I could accept a demilitarized Palestine. Yeah, in 2012, Israel launches Operation Pillar of Defense.
Fuck yourself immediately.
Can you imagine what Pillar of Defense did?
I don't know. Let's see.
It started a war and killed a bunch of people and leveled more of Gaza.
The hell you say? The hell you say?
Hand to Jesus. Hand to Jesus.
Christ. Hands to Christ, who would support Israeli occupation of Gaza. Thank you very much.
And it's one after another, right? Like in 2012, Operation Pillar of Defense. I struggle to even say that with a straight face. In 2014, they launched Operation Protective Edge.
That
love
sounds,
the word edge on the end of that one.
That sounds like a genre of porn.
Yeah. More
Protective Edge.
This one was a 50-day war, more heavy destruction, and more significant Palestinian deaths. So, like, every operation of protective pillar of edging myself, or whatever the fuck they want to call it, every single fucking one of them is just, hey, this is a really fancy, loving name for we're going to kill a bunch of people and take your shit.
We're just going to fucking decimate an entire civilization. But hey, we're defending ourselves, guys.
Just like, One side loves oranges, the other side loves apples. That's it. It's fucking what?
We're trying our best to just protect our people, guys.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
And in between these two operations, by the way, lifelong long face John Kerry attempted another.
Oh, fuck off!
Remember that dude?
I do. I remember him well.
Looked like somebody great. He had like the Habsburg jaw. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Chin and stretch that motherfucker out.
Like the big thing was when he was going against Bush. Was like, well, I went to fucking Vietnam. He served in the fucking National Guard. Like that was his big fucking thing.
Yeah. When did you go there? In the fucking 80s to visit? Like,
yeah, exactly. Fucking dipshit.
God, yeah. So another Operation Protective Edge ourselves. Likud wins another election in 2015. Netanyahu forms a new coalition, and Bibi becomes internationally known for his opposition to the Iran nuclear deal. Remember
the hell you say?
This one, boys and girls. Bibi even addressed the United States fucking Congress without any coordination with the Obama administration.
I was waiting for that. I was waiting because I remember seeing that goddamn fucking clip of him saying the exact same shit. That he's been saying over the past 30 years. I'm pretty sure he said he said something similar to it when he was just here for fucking, Ladybug's funeral.
That's all he ever fucking says.
Yeah.
That's all he ever said. Well, and he was here for Ladybug's funeral barking orders at a whole bunch of people.
Oh, of course he fucking was. Of course he was.
And guess what? They probably he's all like fingers and fucking shouty BB.
And they probably hopped to it too.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
Like, that's a new level of bootlicker. You're in a position of power and you're licking another set of boots, you motherfuckers. What was it?
Those are the boots that have all the dirt on them.
Yes.
Well, that was actually a really good pun, but also accurate.
True. But and it was funny because don't get me wrong, because fucking good old Bubba Bill Clinton ain't the best fucking human in the world either. But I will never forget this fucking saying that he had said to Bibi back then when he was talking about how I need you to fucking like decimate this entire deal. And before Clinton even fucking flinched or said a word regarding what he had just said, he's like, excuse me, who is the fucking superpower here? You're going to tell me to do this shit? Who is the fucking superpower here? And then Trump comes in office. You are? Israel's the superpower.
It's you, baby. It's you.
Fucking dipshit. I'll get the Nobel Peace Prize if I just let you be the superpower. That's fine. You can be superpower.
Yeah. And so there's a brief window, right? He loses power after his second extensively long term in office as prime minister.
Right.
Comes back in 2022. In 2020, however, and I think you're familiar with a couple of these, a minister in Bibi's government called him a danger to the state of Israel.
Yep.
And also in 2020, Bibi set up what he called the Abraham Accords, which is
the historical Abraham Accords. You fucking
just a sneaky, slimy piece of shit thing to do. So basically, all of the countries, many of them in the Arab world anyway, had this agreement that we're not going to talk to Israel. We're not going to normalize relations with Israel or Bibi until there is a recognized state of Palestine.
Yep.
The Abraham Accords, which he had support. Who was it? The UAE, United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Morocco, and Sudan.
And they're trying to get Saudi in that as well.
And and they basically he got all of them to abandon that requirement. Yep. The Abraham Accord. There was nothing fucking historic about it, except for the fact that he got this small handful of countries to say, "Yeah, we don't care. It's fine. Whatever." As has been repeated a million fucking times, this dude, right? Like we just talked about him being over here talking to people at fucking Ladybug's funeral. Yep. He comes over during the Obama administration and addresses Congress without coordinating a goddamn thing with the Obama administration at all.
Nope.
This dude, his like main claim to I'm the guy, he's recorded, by the way, on television saying this. His main claim is that he can bring the U.S. along with whatever he does. And I would bet my fucking entire life on the fact that that's because of Jeffrey.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. In 2001, he's recorded on camera saying, I know what America is. America is something that can be easily
Yep.
pushed to the right direction.
The right goddamn direction.
I don't know about you, but that sounds like a man who knows what he's got in his pocket.
Yep.
You know what I
I
mean? Like,
mean,
what the fuck? What could you imagine the gall, right? Of existing for 60, 80 years,
mhm,
right? In 2001, that'll be, well, that's not even 60. That's 50, 52 years.
mhm,
52 years, your country has existed for
mhm,
52 years. And you talking about the greatest superpower the world has ever seen.
mhm.
I know what America is. America can be pushed.
To the right goddamn direction because, yeah. I mean, and that's the thing, and that is why he feels like he can just go in and out of here. He can go in and out of fucking, the halls of Congress and shit, like whenever he fucking wants without coordinating with anybody. He can sit there and bark orders because I guarantee you the people that he's barking orders at probably has some dirt on them too. Whether
Of
that's
course.
whether that's files or whether that's something else. Because that was one of the big things is a lot of the technology and like a lot of the technology that they have been developing and whatnot, especially in cooperation with say Palantir or something shit like that, is all
Ooh.
surveillance shit. It's all surveillance shit. And so you
Mhm.
could fucking dig up, and when you have that degree of fucking dirt on people through your giant surveillance fucking systems that you have built over time, yeah, you could probably go and be like, hey, motherfucker, I got this on you. Get the fuck out of my way. Give me your sandwich, fuckface. Like
Yep.
he can just
Yep.
do whatever the fuck he wants, or he feels like he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Well,
Period.
so much so that his own ambassador to the US in only a couple of years ago
Mm-hmm.
said that he's unable to distinguish between personal and political ambitions.
Ambitions, yeah. What does that
That's
sound?
that's
What does that
fucking
sound
insane.
like?
Yeah. You sound familiar?
God,
Fucking Jesus, man.
it tells me fucking sound that
And I want to call out here too, because this is something that is has become very, very deeply personal to me, especially having come to know Iman and Abood over the last several months, and getting to talk to them and
right.
understand their situation, getting getting to hear their kids' voices and have them sing. It is, I mean, remarkable doesn't even sum it up, and I struggle to find the words for what it for what it is and what it means to hear those things. These people, I mean, as recently as only a few years ago, and I mean since COVID, right?
Mhm.
After COVID,
Yep.
Palestinian cities stood colorful, proud, full of life,
Yep.
hustle and bustle, cities, cars, buildings, all of that stuff.
Looking fucking nice. Like it looks like a civilization. Because
Yeah.
it very much fucking was. You know what I
And
mean?
October 7th happened,
Yep.
and Bibi has leveled these cities and these kids, talking about how more than half of the population is children. They're fucking kids, man. It's
Yeah.
not even, it's like it's beyond the human being thing. They're fucking children. And they're growing up in a world that they are afraid to go outside. And when they do go outside, they're walking amongst rubble and bone and bloodstains.
And that's if they grow up at all.
If they get to. Because one of the things, and I'm so glad you mentioned Palantir a moment ago,
Mm-hmm.
one of the things that Israel has is something called Project Lavender. And I want to highlight this one because right before we went live, I posted a video on my socials about this. There was a I think it was Aaron Parnas broke the story about how, or at least on social media anyway.
Right,
He's
right,
breaking
right.
news guy.
Right.
Aaron Parnas announced that the Trump administration was looking into ways to have AI automatically tag someone as a criminal.
Yep.
And
Pre-crime.
like I said, the similarities, the comparisons, the ties are not small and they are not few, right? Israel has a thing called Project Lavender, and it was developed by Palantir.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an AI tracking system that marks Palestinian people and puts them on a fucking kill list. And that includes women and children.
Yep.
And it has almost No human oversight.
Yep.
The things that you do, the things that you're in proximity to, are what give you points that stack you up to be put on this list. So if you're a paramedic and you visited too many sites of bombings to help people, you're put on a fucking kill list.
And it removes the human element out of it, and have them be able to compartmentalize, not only compartmentalize from doing these atrocities, but also you can blame it on the fucking computer for the amount of death and destruction. I didn't do it. There was just some issue with the coding, or there was some issue
Right.
with this. Go fuck yourself.
It's fucking disgusting, dude. Like this man has presided over the longest and deadliest war, certainly in Israeli history, which again is not very long. Hundreds of thousands of people have been fucking brutally murdered, indiscriminately murdered, for nothing more than being in a place that he and the Israeli government want.
Yep. I mean,
Gaza is cut off from the world, and I know you mentioned here a moment ago, you know, or before, I think it was right before we went live, we were talking a little bit about, you know, the flotillas and everything. They're being cut off from the world with any kind of aid, any kind of supplies. Medical professionals and educators are being fucking targeted. And they do it by sending drones that play sounds of women and children crying for help.
Use your own humanity against you is what they do. And that's what I was telling you earlier too when we were talking about it. That's the shit that ICE is pulling in Minnesota as well. They, for a while, I don't know if they're still doing it, but I mean, this was a few months ago, but they act like normal Samaritans. They have a woman in there acting like a normal Samaritan with car trouble. And then if a brown person stops and, you know, tries to help them out, they immediately swoop in. Where's your fucking papers? What the fuck is going on? You know, and they'll detain them if they, you know, deem it necessary.
Yeah.
When you use people's own humanity against them, you are not fucking human to me. You are just as fucking dead inside as the AI programs that these fucking other dead inside technocrats are fucking developing. They're using their own, like I said last week, they're using their own robots to further develop their own goddamn robots. They're removing the human element all the fucking together. Like, fuck having a conscience or anybody in positions of power. You're just going to let a fucking computer, like I told you when they had that study at King's College, where every single goddamn time those fucking AIs with a nuclear, like they pick the nuclear option every time when they put them in those war game scenarios involving a nuclear crisis. They didn't hint at de-escalation. They didn't even fucking try. They just hit it every single time. So I'm sorry, dude. You can't sit there and tell me that you are programming these fucking AIs to be like have safeguards in terms of, you know, the human element and shit. You can't tell me you're doing that because it's not fucking happening. It's not happening. And studies are constantly coming up now proving that. But when you got that kind of fuck you money, you can kind of put that to the side a little bit.
Fuck you, money and power, right? I mean, look at what you were saying. I mentioned this before, and that's what I was referencing, and I forgot to finish the thought. But you were talking about even what they do to the flotillas that they seize and capture, and the people on them. And Ben Gavir and on all his shit.
Yeah, because he straight up, because this most recent one where they seized those boats and whatnot, and you know they eventually released them because obviously there's fucking, you know, European citizens and American citizens on that flotilla. You fucking kill one of them, there's going to be an issue. I don't even give a fuck. Like somebody's going to fucking come after your ass. We will, you know, there will be retribution for that. So, but that wasn't before they had them processed, stripped down, and then fucking Itmar Ben Gavir goes in there with cameras and his, you know, and his fucking little, you know, security detail, and he, like they have all these people on the floor, and he's just like crouching down, and he's just like all this kind of fucking shit, completely mocking these people. And that wasn't before, or that was before they started torturing and straight up assaulting some of these flotilla members. Like the same way that they did to Palestinians, the same way, because there's actual video footage out there of, you know, IDF soldiers that are monitoring these detainees and these, you know, prisoners of war. And there's like there's a straight up clip of them surrounding a Palestinian prisoner with the riot shields, and they're covering it up while the guys in the middle just straight up assaulting this.
Oh, I'm sure. Beating the ever-loving piss out of him.
No, the other kind of assault.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what they're doing to these fucking people. And
Well, that tracks, given the Jeffrey ties.
and they justify it because these people are not human to them, period. And it's fucking just absolutely goddamn infuriating because they're just letting this fucking happen. This shit is like, don't get me wrong. I know we are being completely fucking kept in the dark on a lot of shit. Or if we do get information on it, it's months after the fact. It's already
And
way past
whitewashed
that.
and watered down to holy fuck
Right,
at that point.
100 fucking percent. But the shit that does sneak out, you know, they still find a way to justify it in some way, form, or fashion. Which with the, you know, with October 7th and shit like that, which don't get it twisted. That was fucked up. What was it? 1,200 innocent people either taken or brutally murdered by Hamas. We know Hamas is a fucking terrorist organization. We know they are just as fucking bloodthirsty as a lot of these other fucking organizations. That being said,
look at the reaction.
Right.
Look at the fucking countermeasure. Like that's.
I mean, it just came out. I don't know if we're there on the on the timeline that we're going through, but getting to October 7th.
Yeah, go for it.
Recently, a report came out, and a leaked video, and I should have fucking brought it because I was just thinking about it, and I actually did a video on it not too long ago because it was like, you Zionists are straight up fucking, you know, ride or die for these people, but guess what? They ain't ride or die for you because on October 7th, there is a leaked video of all the Joint Chiefs in the fucking Israeli Joint Chiefs with Ben-Gvir even there too, because they were filming a documentary. Same thing with Lindsey Graham when he was, you know, talking about tears of joy and shit like that. That just came out. Same thing here, where they were trying to blow up the bridges to completely cut off Palestine from Israel and whatnot. They were talking about how, well, what about the IDF soldiers that are already there? Kill them too. Kill them too.
Well,
That's immediately what Ben-Gvir said. And as soon as he said that, he looked over at the camera crew. He's like, "Are you filming right now?" No. I tell you when you start recording. And that was the end of the feed.
And these people are the most inhumane, subhuman pieces of shit that have ever fucking walked the earth. And I mean that with my entire chest. You know, Bibi's entire goal has always been to remain in power. That's his primary focus.
Keeps him out of prison.
Going back to October 7th, he ordered the IDF to stand down. He told them it's no big deal at all.
Right.
Meanwhile, he's letting funding into Hamas because and is actually recorded telling a journalist that a strong Hamas is a good thing because it divides the Palestinian people and keeps him from having to broker a fucking peace deal.
Right.
The peace has never been an option for him. It's about ethnic cleansing. It's about the genocide. That's what he wants.
But now too, and that's something that we haven't quite touched on yet, is not only has he committed war crimes and all that kind of fucking shit, but he's also a corrupt piece of shit in every single time that he is served. And with the whole, you know, allowing that money with allowing that money to go into power Hamas and saying that's a good thing or whatnot, all of it, there was a just fucking cartoon level amount of corruption going on with him and his wife. They're accepting over hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Walking the daisies, isn't she?
That bitch is a real fucking piece of work. But accepting over hundreds of thousands of dollars in gifts, whether that be champagne, cigars. She spent $100,000 on celebrity chef meals of their taxpayer dollars on fucking celebrity chef meals.
Our fucking taxpayer dollars.
Yeah, that too. It's the corruption, it's the war crimes. Bibi needs this to keep going because if he doesn't, then he will face charges and he will go to prison. Who else does that sound like? Who else said, "Oh, I need to cling to power because I'm about to get fucking, you know, completely found out on every fraud charge, every fucking, you know, the election scheme, every single illegal thing." I mean, not to mention what $1.2 billion last year on crypto alone. Sorry, that is cartoon level fucking corruption, straight up.
But see, it's literally cartoon bad guy. Like it's
right. He's a fucking like he looks like a cartoon fucking villain. You know what I mean? And all of that shit. And immediately when he got in office,
man, you can't draw that shit.
Right. And immediately when he got in office, what happened? Jack Smith's investigation went. The sentencing for the for the fraud case in New York was completely fucking. It's like, well, he's in power now. He can fucking arm his DOJ to
Can't do
just
anything.
completely overturn it. He
That's the whole
packed the
reason he ran.
courts. He packed the courts with his own goddamn loyalists. There's no way we can do this without somebody else in power. But the best way to fucking do that is to stay in power, and that's exactly what BB is doing as well. Because as soon as he's out of power, if he's not dead, he will be going to a tribunal, and he will be facing consequences for those actions. If not by his own people, by the goddamn ICC. 100%.
Which is fucking bananas that our own government is like, we need to, like, fucking Marco Rubio with his shoes too big for him is out here talking about we need to tell the ICC that their jurisdiction doesn't. Yeah, they know their jurisdiction doesn't apply here. We're not a member. They know that. Why on earth you would go after the International Criminal Court if you weren't a fucking criminal is beyond me. And again, the similarities are not few and they are not small, right?
Right.
BB surrounds himself with the same caliber piece of shit that Trump does. Grim mentioned, you mentioned a minute ago, talking about Ben Gvir and how he stole the hood ornament, the Cadillac hood ornament off of Rabin's car. And said, I just want him to know if we can get to his car, we can get to him. Right.
Right.
Smotrich, his finance minister.
Right.
I mean, how many fucking times do we hear people spouting off some Islamophobic bullshit of like, oh yeah, I see that. I get it all the fucking time. Oh, go to Palestine with your painted nails and your rainbow necklace and see if you don't get tossed off a fucking roof.
Exactly.
Smotrich is an out and proud homophobe.
Hardcore.
A proud homophobe, right? Like, what was it? What was the name he did? Like, didn't he do like a parade or a demonstration? Oh, he called it
oh fuck, I forgot what it was called. Beast
March or Beast Parade or something?
Yeah, Beast Parade is what it was called.
Which is arguably a great name for a gay pride parade.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
And even goes so far, Smotrich is quoted saying, there is no such thing as the Palestinian people, period. There is none, there was none, period. These are the fucking garbage, subhuman pieces of shit that this man surrounds himself with. Again, I'm going to call back to how he was raised and who his father was that shaped his beliefs. The fact that he's marching quite literally calling for the death of Rabin with the fucking coffin. I mean, the video with the coffin right behind him.
Yep.
And this funeral procession.
He's right there.
God damn it, dude. The similarities.
Sorry, dude. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, you're good. The similarities are insane. And there's no shortage of them. And the amount of Islamophobia that is used to justify this shit, used to justify the displacement, the killing and outright torturing of these people is not okay. It's not okay by any fucking measure of the word. And the fact that more people aren't loudly fucking angry, that like your tax money, the money that you pay the federal government is going toward this. It's going toward genocide. It's going toward ethnic cleansing. It's going toward human beings not being allowed to exist in a place that they have lived for centuries.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically how it's fucking summed up. I mean, and that's, just with every single fucking nuance that comes with it too. And like, you can't even really call it a nuance more than it is a goddamn pattern. It's all a fucking pattern of making money and, being as corrupt as fucking possible and cleansing an entire fucking civilization for the dumbest fucking reasons. And I was talking to you before, we went live, and it was like, I know, and that, probably becoming a dad was, kind of that driving force. It's very difficult to, have to watch the fucking children in peril shit. I mean, and it got to a point where, I mean, especially I think it was a year into the conflict, they were showing a whole lot of that shit. Just these kids, and they were interviewing these kids, and they're just like, we can't sleep because we're scared. We can't fucking, I'm shaking every night. And I guarantee when I watched this, because it was an earlier thing just for research for this show, I was watching. I'm like, those kids are probably dead. Those kids that were just interviewed are probably dead now, whether they got blown to shit or starved to death. Because that's another war crime that we haven't quite touched on either, was just completely icing out any kind of food, aid, medicine, blowing up hospitals, every single fucking possible way that these people can get some kind of help or care or food had been completely fucking annihilated. Hence the flotillas, hence all that fucking shit, because nobody else was doing dog dick about it. Not even Biden was doing shit about it. He would
Nothing.
sit there and defend that shit too.
Yeah.
And it just blows my goddamn mind. I'm like, there are kids here. Like, oh, fuck,
I don't know if any of y'all have ever seen a map of the world that shows which countries recognize Palestine as a state and which do not. But there's a really, really big blacked out region over the U.S. And the U.S. is the only permanent member of the UN Security Council. The only fucking member of the UN Security Council that doesn't recognize Palestine and continuously votes against Palestinian interests in any fucking form on UN votes.
And we have a veto. And we have like an
Yeah.
end all be all veto on
Yep.
anything that they, put together.
It's fucking insane, man. I was reminded earlier of, I don't know how many of y'all have ever seen the show The Newsroom.
Yeah.
It was on a while back. I think it only had a few seasons, but Jeff Daniels was in it.
Right.
The opening monologue, season 1, episode 1, and I'm pretty sure it was indeed the opening monologue. He's asked by a high school student, what makes the US the greatest country in the world? Or something, some fucking bullshit brain dead question like that.
I still see it pop up over on my feed every now and then. I mean, it is a very, very insightful, very, it is very, I don't know. It very much is true. I mean, it's what Aaron Sorkin, I believe, who wrote that, which is very much who also did The West Wing. So, I mean, sometimes I will go back. I don't know if you've ever watched The West Wing, like sat down and watched The West Wing.
One of my favorite shows ever.
I was going to say, man, like if you ever want to just sit and just remember a time where things just seemed pretty fucking normal, watch the fucking West Wing, man. That fucking show. I mean, it does make you sad too, because you're just like that. Like this shit seems. I mean, it's a show, sure, but it just seems reasonable. Like everybody's reasonable. Everybody takes a step back, and instead of just immediately reacting to the base instinct that you would normally, react to, they take a step back and they fucking like, all right, let's analyze this. What's going on? How did we get here? Why are we here now? And what can we do to resolve this? There is no goddamn resolution in politics anymore. It's just other side bad.
Dig your heels in.
Right. We're going to go as far as we fucking can to the right or the fucking left or wherever way you want to go. Up, down, I don't give a shit. But the other side is completely fucking just devoid of any kind of humanity, and they need to be eradicated. And it just boggles my fucking mind how we got here. And that's that's the bitch too, is like you got the generations before us who, all they've known is this kind of shit. I mean, we grew up in the 90s. The 90s was, I mean, other than, again, Middle East, Desert Storm and all that kind of fucking shit. And of course, when it comes to Bosnia and whatnot, like, we grew up in a time where things were relatively peaceful and things were relatively good. But it wasn't really until, like, I think with like things like the Oklahoma City bombing, with the things like Columbine in 99, with 9/11, all of a sudden any form of just logical, pragmatic response to something is out the goddamn window. We're back to Islamophobia because that's just all we know how to do.
Got elected mayor.
Right. Well, I mean, that's the thing too, that like they don't have anything to hold on to right now, especially with the midterms. So what do? They just wheeled fucking Fauci back out for the first time in years. I'm like, I haven't heard that dude's name in fucking forever. And now the Islamophobia shit and whatnot, because essentially what they're trying to do is they're trying to make a bigger boogeyman. Essentially, you are anti-Semitic if you don't support what Israel's doing. and fucking, damn well that these, Arabs are going to take over our fucking society. This is
They're
why
gonna
they
bring
banned
Sharia law.
they banned Sharia law in Texas. I'm like, Sharia law, it can't happen in our fucking society. But you do that to basically make a big show of it
Mhm.
and show how you need to be scared of these people. And again, here we go. I'm the only one who can protect you. The people on the
And
right.
their brand of Sharia law is totally acceptable.
Right. Exactly. Yeah,
Totally
no, no,
acceptable.
no.
As long as it's Christian, Sharia law
Yeah,
is fine.
you put a fucking Christian packaging on it, it's still going to be the same. It's still
Yep.
going to be the goddamn same. And it just it boggles my fucking mind because yeah, it has gotten to the point where a lot of Americans are waking up to this bullshit in the goddamn in Gaza, in
God, I hope
Lebanon
so.
now, in Iran, in fucking um what Serbia, like all that shit is like they have no leg to stand on, so they got to find a boogeyman in order to make it worse. And that's kind of how our politics has always been as well. Is like we suck, but we're not as bad as these motherfuckers. And
Right.
that's been the Dems fucking platform forever. And
And
they
that's I mean, that's gotta fucking change, man.
it's not, and I guarantee you it's not now. You know why? Because Trump and his entire fucking regime has been so infinitely worse than any other fucking administration that has been in that
yeah,
goddamn Oval Office desk chair that the Dems aren't going to learn their lesson. They're not going to learn their lesson one
I very
goddamn
sincerely
bit.
doubt it.
They're going to run the same thing. That's why they haven't done shit. Because the more they let this go on, the worse Trump looks, and that
Mhm.
gets them votes. And that's why
Yep.
they're scared now of the DSA, popping up with these candidates, and people are voting them in. Mamdani, for example, as well. Because you know damn well that the Dems, the establishment Dems, your typical fucking liberal Dems, are going to demonize him just as fucking much
Oh,
be-
absolutely. They
because
already have.
it costs them votes. It costs them
Yep.
votes. It costs them power, straight up. And they're
That's
just going
it.
to let this fucking happen just because it will get them back in office. And yeah, dude, guess what? When you give us those only two fucking choices, yeah, I mean, in terms of a realistic shot in actually winning an election based on the fact that the majority of our population is not well informed, completely fucking uneducated, and they don't want to even bother looking into the nuance of that shit. They just want a quick packaged label,
Yep.
and that will be enough for them to decide who they're going to fucking, check, or whose name they're going to put a check mark by in the ballot, in
Oh,
the
absolutely.
ballot box. Straight up.
Absolutely.
And
And
so,
these they're not I tend to agree with you. I don't think they're gonna learn their lessons.
no,
I have at least I'm not hopeful that the Democrats are gonna learn their lesson and
no, they will not.
start to shift their talking points, their messaging, all that shit. Um, I mean, it's inarguable at this point. Mamdani, I mean, 6 months, granted, only 6 months as mayor,
Yeah.
Mamdani has been a success.
No, yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
the petitions popping up of like, he better not show up at any 9/11 memorials. What a fucking absolutely disgusting, like, it makes me angry on a level that is difficult to put words to, because it's Islamophobia just for the sake of it. That's all it is. It's got nothing to do with any fucking thing else.
Right. 100%. And that's the thing. Like, it's just like the way I would look at it is why the fuck wouldn't you have a practicing Muslim there? If you want peace, dude,
Fucking what a symbol.
look at a
Also,
fucking Muslim man sit there and talk about what happened on, September 11th, and commiserating with people, and really really identifying with people, and sitting there and talking with them and whatnot. It doesn't seem like it, but at that point, the Muslim community or the Islam community fucking won't look like the boogeyman anymore, and we won't get those peace, because that's another thing. Because at the end of the day, and I said this earlier, is it's all about fucking money. And what
it's
makes you
all
more
about,
money
yep,
than anything else? War.
what keeps them in power.
War. The
Yep.
fucking military industrial complex. War makes you more money than anything, and the longer war goes, the more rich the fucking 1% get. And I mean, we've
Absolutely.
seen this. We've seen this straight up happen already with Trump's financial reports. That motherfucker made
Christ.
what, upwards of 2 point something billion dollars, 1.2 of it just in crypto alone.
Yep.
Everything
Not to
else,
mention all his other fucking grifts, the Trump phone, the fucking NFC or whatever, NFT,
right?
NFT,
And
all that bullshit.
and his investments in companies like Axon, who are now doing the new flock cameras after they've been torn down by normal, citizens.
Right. Don't do that, by the way.
Yeah.
Definitely don't use a high-powered green laser.
Nope.
Um, they don't like that. You'll cause damage. Definitely don't cause any damage to flock cameras with high-powered green lasers. I'm just formally announcing that.
I mean, or even a
Don't do
fucking
it.
or an angle grinder. Fuck it.
Or
But
or
it
or angle grinders. Don't use those tools
nope.
on flock cameras.
Don't show up in non-identifying black clothing. Don't cover your face. Don't cover your eyes. Don't cover your tattoos. Don't wrap the angle grinder in a trash bag by any stretch of the imagination. And yeah, just don't do that, because it's in no way are those posts just weak ass aluminum because motherfuckers can't spring for the fucking premium shit.
I'm waiting for somebody to try to yank one out with a truck or something like an idiot.
Oh, I'd be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if that's already happened here, because that's like
That's how we used to. I mean, never mind.
if anybody's got fucking big ass pickup trucks that can fucking that don't use it for what they're really intended to be, but can do something like that, it's definitely
Yeah.
Texas.
If you ever need to move a street sign,
Yep.
that's how we used to do it. when they needed to be moved,
Right.
which was
But
not often.
going back to Trump making money, like this motherfucker is. I mean, it comes down to what just came out earlier today, or at least I had just seen it earlier today, is the fact that he owns a pretty controlling stake in Philip Morris, who makes Zen, who is now supplying the troops with Zen, any kind of nicotine product, fucking, all this shit, dude.
Probably for all that testosterone they're about to get.
And he's making all that goddamn money over it. Like, this is blatant fucking corruption, dude.
It's all insider trading bullshit. All of it.
Yes, he's manipulating the stock market. Again, it goes back to wars. You can straight up manipulate the goddamn stock market if you know you're going to bomb some motherfuckers here in a minute. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, again, with a goddamn brain knows that.
I think that's the most. I think specifically for our generation, most specifically, I think younger side of Gen X, older side of millennial.
Yeah.
The worst part of it and the most heartbreaking part of it is remembering all of the things that you were taught in school, right? Like
Right.
that's why I was reminded of that newsroom monologue where he says, we're not the greatest country in the world, but we sure used to be. We stood up for what was right. We fought for moral reasons and passed and struck down laws for moral reasons.
We never pounded our
the
chest.
most key line in that entire thing: we waged wars on poverty, not poor people.
Yep.
That shit. I mean, becoming an adult and learning how much of even our own history we never learned, and we were never taught about. We were never even given the opportunity to understand, much less.
Or it was sanitized, or if it was a blurb. It was more of a blurb than it was an entire lesson.
Yeah, right. Like how Thanksgiving and the Cowboys and the Indians sat down and had turkey, and everyone loved each other. Right. What?
No.
Like fucking no. None of that happened.
Yep.
It's difficult this is a shitty timeline to be alive in. And it's difficult to reconcile all of the things that are happening in the world with all of the things that you were taught and all of the values that you were taught. It's something that I've struggled with most, if not all of my adult life, is trying to reconcile what I had learned of the world with the things that I was taught growing up.
Right.
And in some cases, it's a matter of feeling like you were lied to some degree, right?
Yeah.
But it's also just a really, really deep and profound sense of disappointment.
Yeah.
To look at the world with awareness, with open eyes.
Mm-hmm. Woke.
Fuck, man. It's dark. And I mean that very sincerely. Like this last week of looking into all this stuff fucked with my head something fierce.
Yeah.
There's a website that is important, and I'm going to call it out, but I want to forewarn you all. If you go to that website, you cannot unsee the things that you will see there.
It is 100 trigger warning of the highest fucking order. It is not
of the highest degree.
It is not for everybody.
You can't unsee those things, and it's going to fucking break you in ways that I cannot begin to explain to you. It's archivegenocide.com. And it is an endless fucking list of videos and all kinds of things that show what's really happening there.
Yeah.
And to human beings, but most importantly to fucking kids. Man. They're kids. They're kids.
Look, I am fucking absolutely goddamn petrified raising a daughter right now because of shit like this. 100%. And that's why, you know, because I was, you know, telling Ham before, I've more or less kind of avoided the children in peril apart. I knew it was happening, and I carried that with me and whatnot, but to see it would probably break me. But I know what's happening, and it does need to be seen. It does need to be talked about. It does need to be more widely available. I mean, some of these motherfuckers that are supporting this need to see what their fucking support is going to, what their tax dollars. You fucking till you're blue in the face. I'm not letting my tax dollars go here. I'm not letting my tax dollars go here to fund these fucking trans people or this shit or this, that, and your other motherfucker. But you're more than willing to let your tax dollars go to kill kids, and not just kill kids, but completely either destroy them or let them waste away. And that right there is even more cruel to me, is let them waste away, because you don't give a fuck about these kids. You don't give a fuck about these people. You don't give a fuck about anybody but you and yours. And I would still argue that you don't even give a fuck about yours. You just give a fuck about you. Because you cannot watch this shit with a straight goddamn face and be like, yeah, no, I mean, it's an unfortunate thing, you know, but it's got to happen. If I want to still stay comfortable, it's got to fucking happen. It doesn't. It in no way fucking does. Period.
It's and it is, Randy. I agree, and more so just giving the warning for folks, because it is it's fucking heavy, man.
Yeah,
it's heavy, and you can't unsee those things. You also can't look away.
No,
because it's the same reason, you know, not long ago, my wife and I were watching TV, and we started watching The Handmaid's Tale. And God damn it, if there isn't a fucking that is one of the heaviest bits of television I have ever watched in my entire life.
Yep.
And the first handful of episodes were so bad that I had to pause it at like several points. I had to pause it, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Like, my heart was like getting ripped out of my chest. And we paused it, and my wife looked at me and she was like, we don't have to watch this. We can watch something else. And I was like, what kind of fucking asshole would I be to look away from something that you have to worry about every single day?
Right.
That you're scared of not being recognized as a human.
Right.
And we have millions and millions and millions of our dollars being given to a country that is absolutely horrifically ending the lives of children in the most inhumane ways that you could possibly imagine. They went into hospitals, they bombed out the hospitals, but they went into hospitals and into the nurseries and killed the babies in there. How do you even fucking do that?
How do you fucking sleep at night letting that happen?
I can't, man. I can't wrap my head around it. So yeah, go. It's very important that you see the site, but be warned that you
won't be the same after.
you will not be the same afterward.
No.
You can't be.
No. Well,
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
it's absolutely fucking insane, and it needs to stop. And like I said up top, we don't pretend to have a solution for it, but we do know that what's happening right now is just fucking wrong, dude. It's just fucking horrible. It is fucking some of the most detestable, barbaric, fucking just dead inside fucking horrid shit. And it's just so people can get richer, so people can cling to power, people can avoid jail time, people can fucking just invest in human life, but ending it. And it just boggles my fucking mind how people like can see this happening or even call for an order for it to happen and still be able to fucking sleep at night. I don't
Yeah.
get it. I don't understand it. But and I believe I'm actually gonna fucking quote a Spider-Man comic right now. Is this? It's what is it? The sane world. What is it? We basically is I forget what the whole damn thing was. It's just like we can't. But when it comes to mad men, we can't follow them to where they conceive of such things. If you have a shred of humanity, the sane world will always be plagued by madman, and they will always be there. And but because we can't comprehend that kind of straight up fucking just apathy at human suffering and death. We and I don't want to follow these motherfuckers. Sometimes I do in terms of not follow them, but at least figure out how, why, what fucked you up so much to where you have zero fucking, like you were just eradicating entire groups of people like they're a fucking anthill. And you treat it just as fucking laissez-faire.
Yep.
I don't fucking get it. These fucking people need to be held accountable, and that is the very least of it.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
very fucking least of it. Because it is
Yeah.
that one thing where it's a slippery slope. It is a fucking slippery slope because every single fucking day, I mean, we see it every day on social media. We see it every day when it comes to, is he dead yet? Is he dead yet? Is he dead yet? But that's also a slippery slope because of all those atrocities and things like that. You're basically going to treat the other side the same fucking way. You're going to treat them as inhuman fucking pieces of shit. And a lot of them are. And it goes back to that quote that I had said earlier in the show. What was it? The region's worst doesn't mean they're all. And the big thing with that is like, look, we're not mincing words, and we are completely dragging these motherfuckers through the mud, and we want to see accountability, if not fucking just slow deaths for these motherfuckers. But it's a slippery slope if you fucking put that on an entire group of people, because at that point, no goddamn peace will ever be accomplished. You keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. This is exactly why Israel and Palestine have been at odds. I mean, other than the encroachment and all the fucking colonization and all the fucking shit like that, that's one of the main fucking reasons is these extremes keep clinging to power, and they keep going back and forth and eradicating innocent people. People get caught in the fucking crossfire of this shit. And it's just going to keep going. It's just going to keep going unless we get people in positions of power that are willing to slow the fuck down and be the Mom Donnies at ground zero. You know what I mean?
If only.
If only. If only. And, I think somewhere in there, I have a degree of optimism that maybe, I think, if you look at things like, the website, like, I feel like maybe we can get there, because like, you don't want to see that shit happen to your kid. I definitely don't. It scares the fucking shit out of me every goddamn day. And I don't know. I don't, like I said, we don't pretend to have a solution here, but what the fuck is happening right now ain't working. And it hasn't
No,
been working. If anything, it's gotten worse and worse and fucking worse, and it needs to stop. And I don't know how we're going to do that. I hope we can figure that out. But in the meantime,
with any luck.
all we can do is fucking bring awareness to it. All we can do is educate people on this. All we can do is just keep screaming until we fucking cannot scream anymore about all of this shit happening. And maybe we can get somebody in a position of power that can fix it, or at least a group of people in each of these nations to be able to do it. I don't know. I hope. I can still cling to hope, but
That's, I mean, unfortunately, all we have at this point
right,
is hope.
right.
I mean, the Israeli elections happen in October of this year.
Yes, they do.
Our own midterms happen in
November.
November of this year. Things have an outside shot of changing, but you got to get involved.
Yeah.
You got to start paying attention to who's running for office around you, who's being funded by whom and what organizations are behind them, who are they, what are their platforms. Start paying attention, because I mean, fuck, man, if no other reason than because kids are dying. Kids.
It should be. I mean, it is. I mean, I like to believe so. I mean, at least any normal person that I know, is our immediately gut reaction as adults is to protect children. You will grab somebody else's fucking kid that is not yours if they're walking into traffic. Why the fuck are you okay with your tax dollars going in to blow them up or starve them? Why?
Yep.
When you're supposed to have that goddamn internal instinct to protect the fucking kids. If you support this shit, if you support any of this fucking shit, you are not allowed to even say that you are all about protecting the fucking children, because you're not. Because
I mean, my own niece was on a swing set and tried to jump off the swing she was like 3 or 4.
Right.
We don't have kids. I don't have kids.
Yeah.
My niece was on a swing set at 3 or 4 years old and tried to jump at the apex and flung herself into the swing set. And I didn't even realize I had done it until I was already hurt.
Right.
I threw my body in between her and the swing set just so she didn't get a bruise.
Right. Yep.
Get involved. Pay attention.
And that's the very least, dude.
Yeah.
That's the very fucking least.
It's so small. It's such a small thing to do.
I mean, even the shit that we're doing right now, like, I view as, while I view it as important, I feel like I could be doing more. I always feel like I could be doing more. I got a kid to look after. I got but at the same time, I can't, and I've always said this as, one of the main reasons why I got into doing this in the first place is I could not look my daughter in the face as she got older and tell her that I did nothing for her or anybody like her. I couldn't do that. Period. I knew I couldn't. I still can't. I feel like I can be doing more. But, and maybe I will. Maybe we will be doing more and more and more and more and more. But right now, this is going to have to do. And if it changes one mind, or if it fucking, shines some light on something that somebody didn't know before, like I said in the first episode, if just one person sees that and then looks at it sideways, I know that we've done our job. Straight up.
Yeah.
Because that's one less asshole railing or basically advocating for this horse shit, for this fucking just horrid shit. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in October for their elections. I don't know what's going to happen in November for our elections. But what I do know is, whatever happens, we're still going to be there, and we're going to fucking act accordingly.
Yep.
So
before we go, real quick, I want to bookend it by saying, telling Iman and Abood, if you watch this, if you're seeing this now, we love you. We stand with you always. And from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free.
100%. All right, we got one before we go all the way. Because I know this ran a little long. Maybe we'll probably do questions next week. Because I think this is a little much for everybody. I think we're all fucking drained, and I don't know if you're doing banana.
I'm going through it right now.
I don't know if you're doing banana time later, but
yeah, I'll be up.
Okay. So I'll join you on that as well. So after this, probably half hour after this.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some time to decompress.
Right.
Don't go anywhere yet, though, y'all. We got a little thing to play for you.
There's one thing that we wanted to play. We didn't want to do it in the middle because we didn't want this entire thing to be a goddamn sob fest. But Ham, if you would like to set this up before we go, just to let you guys know, and we'll see you guys at Banana Time if you want to join us on Ham's Live on TikTok.
What we have is it's a short clip, but I was able to find a clip of Aboud's kids singing. They show up and they join us later on at night. It's usually about 1 a.m. Eastern when they come online, and every once in a while the kids are awake early enough and they sing to us. And I was able to find a clip and we want to play it for you guys.
All right. We'll see you guys next week. If you want to come by Banana Time. And like I said, Patreon and stuff is going to be up and running sometimes next week. But anyway, here are the kids. And we'll see you guys next week.
Have a good night, y'all.
I love you too.
Love you too.